Hey. Good, fellas.
That's good.
How we doing tonight? How we
Hello,
doing?
hello.
Yeah. Ready for this intro? You want me to go straight into the intro? We can do our pleasantries now and then get into our intros. What y'all want to do?
Intro.
Kind of
Go
ready.
for it.
Kind of ready.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
kinda
go.
ready.
Go with it. Let's go right in.
It's my favorite part.
Right. All right. Welcome to Gamer Actual, your weekly deep dive into the biggest news in gaming. We're available on all major podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, with a visual version of this podcast being available on youtube.com at Gamer Actual. This podcast is also a part of the KXI Network. To learn more about the KXI Network and all our offerings, check out our show notes. Now, if you're enjoying the show, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform of choice. It really helps us out. Now, for tonight's episode, we'll get into underperformance of Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, quote unquote. The closure of Firewalk Studios, Monster Hunter Wilds beta, massive surge in players, and a lot more. Now, with all that said, let's get into it. Actual gamers, I'm your host Cash, and tonight we got the homie Heartless and Jolty J, but we also have a very special guest tonight, right? He's a seasoned CG director in the games industry with over a decade of experience working on a lot of some of your favorite games, possibly like Fight Night Round 3, Def Jam Icons, and a slew of other games. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got Charlie in the building, aka Evil Juju. What's good, fellas?
Thanks for having me, guys. What's up? How y'all doing?
Welcome in.
Welcome in, Juju.
How we doing tonight?
Feeling good, doing good, man. Good
Yeah.
to be on the stream. Good to be on a podcast again. Feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Familiar.
It's always a good time when he's here.
Is this your official guest spot, or is this the second time? This is the second time, right?
Second time.
Second time official as a guest. Second time was
Official as a guest. You've
first
had a
time was
few
like a pop-in.
call-ins. Yeah,
It was like color commentary.
yeah. You had a call-in with Reaper. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Juju, how you been?
I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good. Just working.
Anything new? Anything new
Yeah.
people need to know
Got
about?
a new job. The past 6, 7, 8 months. I've been working remote. I got that home life now. So
Oh, that's what's up.
I live right outside of Chicago. And,
Okay.
I'm used to being in the city every day, and for the last
Yeah.
6 months, I've been out here in the burbs. Been driving me crazy being at home by myself. I'm a studio person. So I like being in. So even the remote life was good. Even when I was at the agency, like you do it 1 day a week type of deal. But
Mhm.
I got into creative work to be at a studio because there are always cool spots to be at. So not to be there and be collaborating in person sometimes it takes some getting used to a little bit. But it's
Okay.
cool. But I do like all the other benefits because I have 2 beautiful daughters, so I'm around them a lot more. So that's
I hear
all
that.
good, And I can still do all the creative work here.
Mhm.
Build up my little beast machine here this year. So you're doing pretty good. It's good.
Yeah, that's right. You built a machine recently.
Yeah,
Care to tell
yeah.
people what's under the hood?
Yeah, so it's the i9.
Which generation? 13K?
14? No, 149.
Dude, that shit run faster than NASA.
Yeah. So it's AI water cooled, with the water cooler. So that's cool. 4090, Asus ProArc motherboard. So
How much you pay for that 4090?
1200.
It was it was like $2,000. It was $2,000.
Yeah,
For a
that-
graphics card?
$2,000. It's $2,000.
I was about to correct Heartless. 1200.
1200 was-
1200
Yeah.
where? Forget
It was
about it,
still-
bro.
So this is it's an Asus tough gaming version of the 4090.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what that one is. And then the Asus ProArt motherboard allows me to do creative work as well as it'll be good for the gaming stuff. And
Nice.
it handles the 14900K really well. And then I just had to have that water cool because that chipset can run a little warm. But in terms of what I have in it, it's doing pretty good. Updates and stuff like that.
What's your electricity bill like?
It's good. My electricity bill easy, man. It's good. $200 a month. We'll be fine, man. We'll be fine. But if you're worried about the Intel chipsets, I can tell you from experience, I've been doing just fine with it, been rendering with it, been doing some hardcore rendering on it the last 2 weeks, and it's been good so far. I think they had an update as long as you as long as you update your drivers, which what I like to do now is go to Micro Center, pick it all out, do all the research, give them a bunch of bunch of notes because they get tired of me, and then we just have them put together. So I have the warranty on it. If something goes wrong, I can
Mhm.
fix this. So they already said that they do things where they update the motherboard and the chipset. So it's been good. So if you're worried about Intel, it's been good.
Okay.
Fun fact for those that don't know, chips, Intel chips, these CPUs, they're all made the same. And what an i5 and an i7 really is an i9 with defects. When they make the chips, they count the number of defects they have, and depending on the number of defects they have, they give it a classification. So that means two i9s can have slightly differing performances.
Really?
That's how they're made. Yeah, they're all made the same.
Similarly, how they do the leveling when you look at GPUs also. So TI is nothing more than the next version in line, just one step down because it didn't hit the marker. So if you had like a 4080 Ti or something like that, it's really like a 4090, but it's just like one step down.
Hit the threshold.
Based on
That's
the
crazy.
to make it. And
I didn't know
so
that.
on and so forth. So a 3060 is a 3060 because it hit all its marks, and that's what it is. If it hits a little bit more because it's supposed to be like a 3070 or whatever, but it doesn't hit the 3070, it's a TI.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's a very simple way of putting it, but I'm sure Reaper or somebody like that can tell you.
For sure. For sure. Reaper could definitely break that down.
Because some of these components are so small and microscopic that they're using machines to make them, obviously, and they come with defects. So they inspect these at a microscopic level. They count the defects and like, oh, well, this meets this classification as opposed to this classification.
And more so not defects, it just doesn't hit there's quality standards. It's not like something's wrong with it. It's more so that
with CPUs, they're literal defects. There's spots on the CPU itself that are not getting what they're supposed. Yeah.
That's crazy. I need to look more into that. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
So the machine's been good, I think. And then like Fantech's MV9. Look up that case if you guys looking for a case. If any of you guys out there need a case, Fantech MV9 is the case.
I don't know what it is, but I love the Cooler Masters, bro.
Yeah.
Cool Masters are pretty good.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, I have a Metal Gear case. It's made by the same company, Fantech.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, but I got pictures of the rig up on the network.
Yeah, in the Discord.
So check it out.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice, bro. Especially when you turn off the lights and have the neon lights going. That's crazy,
it's like,
bro.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
You can make up much higher.
You know what happens now that I have the like little LED on the cooler? I stare at that number all the time. Is my GPU running hot? I just like look at it all the time.
What are your temps like? You got numbers?
Yeah, so right now it's like CPU is running at 36.
Yeah, nice.
GPU is running at 39.
Nice. And gaming? Have you?
Yeah, so general temperatures usually should be sitting around 40, 50. So
wow,
I get
gaming. Wow,
yeah.
that's
so
crazy.
that's what I'm getting right now. So like on some of them, it's popped up to about 50. But like
that's
like when we're playing Street Fighter, 40, 50, 47.
That is nuts.
50. I haven't hit it where I'm like,
60
I'm
to
running at
70
80
degrees bad.
No, it's not bad.
No,
it's
like
just,
general
average.
temperature.
Yeah.
Like right now, without messing up the camera, like it's at general temperature right now, sitting at 41 degrees for the GPU.
Wow. So I'm sitting at 44 right now.
Yeah, so you're good. So imagine if you go up 20 degrees, it's
not
just
that
working,
bad.
but it's not bad. If you're sitting at 120,
No, I wouldn't run my PC at 120. if I ever hit a 120, I just shut it off and go bring it to Micro Center.
Or 100, running at 100 or 90, now you're starting to get a little hot. Yeah, but I went with the water cooling for the CPU first because I want to see how that goes. And then I got 9. What? 1, 2, 4.
9 fans. Oh, God.
9 fans. 2 exhaust.
He's got groupies.
Yeah. 3 just blowing on the 49.
He's got 3 fans just blowing. He's got groupies, bro.
Just for the 49ers, they get their own. It's like they get their own sister wives.
That's crazy. All right, guys. So let's just get into with the games that got released this week. So we got a
Yeah.
few of them actually, but we're only going to really talk about like 3 of them right now that I want to bring to people's attention. So one is Life is Strange, which I think this is, I don't know which one is this, like the second or the third one. I'm not sure. I'm not really a Life is Strange kind of guy, but I
So
wanted to
I
bring it up
think
either
this
way.
would be the third. I know they have 2 games so far.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
game has a really, really strong following, though. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
played the
does.
first one. I played the first one. It's actually a really good game. It's your Telltale game, point click kind of.
It's a point click kind of story.
Yeah,
but it looks
it's
really nice. It's the upgraded version of Telltale.
yeah,
Telltale grow up.
exactly. It's a little more advanced than Telltale. You can walk around the environment type of thing. You know what I mean?
It does look pretty. It
Uh,
does look nice. Yeah.
the first game has an interesting time mechanic that affects the gameplay and choices and so forth. It's pretty cool.
Are you guys hearing this? I hope you're.
We're not hearing it.
No
Okay,
audio
that's
yet.
good. No, I'm not. I don't. You don't usually play the audio. I
Okay,
just
got
wanted
So
to
this
know.
is a weird thing about this game too. Doesn't this have a weird time thing too? Because I watched a trailer for this, or where it did make sense to me. It was like flipping through different parts,
Different time
Mm.
zones.
or
I mean,
like
not time zones.
no, there's like
periods.
supernatural. There's like a supernatural thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
like,
supernatural element
MC's
to it.
the
Is
MC's
she
like
dead?
a time traveler
Yeah.
type
Yeah. Okay.
thing. You can go back in time a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's developed by Deck Nine Games.
Deck Nine, yeah.
Life is Strange Double Exposure. This one is called. It's a supernatural murder mystery that will excite both new and returning players. Life is Strange Double Exposure will launch on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PC on October 29th, which means it's already out. It came out 29th, I said? Yes. Also, it's coming to Nintendo Switch, but I don't have any word of when exactly that will be dropping. Well, yeah. I don't know. I haven't played a Telltale style game like a point and click adventure game in a long time. so-
Stylistically, this doesn't fit me.
Well, mind you, I don't know if this one is the same like formula as the first one, but
Mhm.
it was fun. That was my first
Mhm.
point and click
Yeah.
game, and it was fun. You get to travel around the school and like investigate things. I think you'd like it, Gash. You
Yeah.
like the investigation.
I mean, I like Telltale games.
Yeah.
Still got to be Breath of the Wild.
I
Dang,
mean,
that's funny.
like I said, Breath of the Wild is pretty much done. I just have that one boss to fight. I'm
you
just
beat the final
exploring.
boss. You beat
No, I
Ganondorf.
didn't. I didn't.
Nah, you still got to be.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get in
He's
there.
on you right now.
Huh?
He's on you right now.
Right. No, but the thing is, like I said, I like exploring the game. Like I like finding. There's so much in the game to explore. So it's so much fun. Plus, I had an additional DLC. Shout out to Bill of Legends. He actually copped me the
Oh,
DLC
nice.
for the game.
Nice.
Had I not gotten the DLC, I would pretty much beat the game already. But now I have a lot more. What do you call those? Not vaults. Damn. I'm drawing a blank here. You guys know what I mean. The caves, like the shit that you need to
A
explore.
lot more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
there's so
complete.
much more to do, bro. So that kind of added a lot more. I didn't realize that it was a legit expansion, bro. There's a lot more to do now in the game. So yeah. Up next is also Dragon Age Veilguard, which I think is actually being reviewed very well.
Very well. Very well.
Very
yeah.
well. But when it comes to the general audience, sitting at a 3.9
Out of
and-
10?
out of 10. And on before reviewers, it's sitting at 84. So that's kind of crazy to even think about. You know what I mean?
Agenda.
Yeah.
I mean,
It seems a little bit of like little missteps from the developers, but at the same time, like the industry the way it is today, it's like there's a lot of like bad actors out there that are like giving them a little bit of a bad rap. I think there was a couple guys. There's one guy in particular I was listening over to, was it Black Hokage? He was
you talking
talking about-
TBH?
yeah, TBH. He was talking about on Twitter. There's a guy that kind of tried to make it seem like the devs were like paying were like paying guys for like reviews or something like that. It was like some nefarious stuff with that, and it turned out to be like false and stuff like that. They were just trying to push a false narrative.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was this like weird there's this contract that was circulating, and it come to find out it wasn't actually the actual contract, because it was about I think the person in question is Mr. Maddie Plays.
Yeah.
All right. And apparently his contract supposedly got leaked online, but it wasn't him. It wasn't.
Somebody
Well,
took a
he's denying
screenshot
it.
of a contract.
Yeah, but he's denying that it wasn't his. But
Yeah,
the
they had
thing
the cursor
was
still in it.
exactly. But exactly. Not only that, there was a leak footage of the game prior to its release, right?
That's
And
what he
it
was
was-
talking about. That
Right.
that
And
like his
there's a
editor,
character
his
creator.
editor
Right.
gave his friend, which gave another friend, which gave another friend, and then they
Exactly.
posted
Yeah, because the
footage.
character, his character leaked online, because when he did his review, it was the same character. So people put two and two together and was like,
Right.
okay, so
But-
this leak came
Yeah.
from you. So
You're
that's what happened. But I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just,
The leak was intentional, but what it
the
was
leak, but wasn't from him.
well, wasn't from him, and like
Mhm.
the stuff that the person was saying in the leak was like very, very questionable and bad to say. It was like
Right.
it had like a political statement next to it too.
I think they were trying to. I think it was trying to be salacious
trying to on purpose, and
on purpose.
he came
Yeah.
out and owned everything. Said he gave it to his editor, and it was his fault. But like he took the blame.
Yeah.
Man. So it was cool.
I saw Colin Moriarty touched on that topic earlier this week as well. So he was talking about that as well. But overall, I feel like when it comes to this game, I'm a fan of BioWare.
Mhm.
Especially when it comes to like Mass Effect, because I never played any of the Dragon Age games. I don't know how to feel about this per se. I'll be honest. I really
Did you
don't
play
know
the game?
how to feel. Which one? This one? New one?
No
No,
one,
I never played it. I feel like the more I saw in the trailers, the less enthused I was for the game. Like the first time I saw the gameplay, I was like, all right, this is okay, but I feel like I want to see more. But the more I saw, I felt like it didn't pull me in, is what I'm saying. So never mind all the things that people are talking about. Like overall, I don't think this game is really like pulling me in to like play this shit.
Isn't it one of the best selling games on Steam right now?
Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'll double check that, but I do have to say, when the critic score is 80 and the reviewer and the audience score is
So
30,
low. Mhm.
I understand that there should be a deviation from critic score to audience score because critics have slightly different metrics for how they do things.
You're right.
But the deviation should not be that high. When the deviation is that high, to me, it implies some sort of bias, whether it be from the critics' end or from the audience end, the viewers. And we've been seeing trends lately in media where viewers will have this, they've stamped this thing now, go woke, go broke. And anyone who believes in that type of ideology will just follow shit because they're mostly mindless people. And the same thing can be said on the other end of the spectrum. If in gamings you have people working inside of these studios, companies trying to send specific messages, you're going to see these things pop up in games. And if critics and the people who are at the top of these companies understand what these companies are trying to do and they're all for it, then you're going to see huge deviations from the consumer score to the critic score.
And this is not the first time we've seen something like this either. We've seen these far departures. Like it's happening a lot more, I feel like, in like when it comes to modern gaming.
Yeah, I don't think gamers nowadays at times, and this could be a little bit biased, I've been a developer, but I don't think gamers at times focus on the game aspect of having fun. I think some people are looking for something to be wrong with it because the relationship between developers and gamers used to be a lot better.
Yep.
And I think it's gotten worse. And I also think you add in those like small groups that are stirring the pot also.
Yep.
And those
On
small
both
groups
ends, I feel like.
Like now gamers don't know what to believe, right? Like take you Cash, somebody who's played games from this developer before has such a mixed review. It has to be sour a little bit even before you even try to play it because you you want a game to be good, and you want to go into a game clean and just try to
Right.
see if you like it.
Mhm.
I get like that with games. I'm like, something else about this game is
And
messed
it's
up,
kind of
and
hard
it turns
given
you
like
off. Yeah.
given I wouldn't say profession, like if you want to say that, but like given what we do, it's kind of hard to even stay away from like to go in blind because
Hmm.
you're gonna active, especially when it comes.
You're
We
getting
have a
met with so
podcast.
much.
Right.
Exactly, we have a podcast, which means we're actively searching for news.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the more you find, I think the less you get enthused about certain things.
But for me, like with games like this, because like I've tend to play a lot more multiplayer games lately. But even now with with uh with having the ability to play some of these other ones, where I'm like, okay, what single player games do I want to play and put on my list? It might
Hmm.
take me a year to get through all of them, but I was trying to start to think of that the other day. Um, I remember Dragon Age or Mass Effect and these other games where they would have these taboo like subjects in the games to kind of mimic
Hmm.
life, because gaming kind of mimics life to a point. And
Right.
now it's almost like you shouldn't have it in there at all, because somebody's going to get extra mad. Like, remember what was it with Mass Effect back in the day, where you were able to like date whoever you wanted to date, and back then
Hmm.
that was a big taboo thing to do.
But
So
Yeah,
if it
but I
was
even
don't
made
think it was
today,
that big. But I don't think it was that big of a deal in Mass Effect at the time
yeah,
because
I mean,
it
to
was
some people it was, though. I think it was.
it,
I
it,
don't think
it
anywhere near what it'd be today.
Not
exactly. That's
near,
what I'm
but
saying.
but
That's what I'm
but
saying.
so what I'm saying is like take us back then,
Hmm.
and for them to put something like that in there, it was kind of like it was newsworthy. Or if Call of Duty did something where it was a little bit closer to what it was in real life, and it gave people pause. I know at one point in time there was one thing about like how comptrollers were in Call of Duty, and how there was a certain segment that was sympathized to like veterans, and they had to like spend like the next 2 or 3 years to make sure they told you next time when the next ones come out that they got it right, and they weren't overly selling something because they felt like it was disrespectful to veterans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not the same because everything's amped up now, but it's
Hmm.
still like I feel like gaming still has that, and now gaming is being punished for trying to keep some of those topics and infuse them into some of
So,
the games and the writers and whatnot.
Hmm.
so my personal take on this exact thing, we're going to use
Right.
Mass Effect because I think Mass Effect is a great example. Mass
Right.
Effect released like 10 years ago, more. They released more than 10 years ago. I lied.
Yeah.
Longer than 10 years ago. And they allowed you to date anybody, right?
Right.
If Mass Effect released today, I almost wonder if their main selling point would be the fact that they can date that you can date anyone. If
Because they
Mass
didn't do
Effect
that back
released,
in the day.
no, of course they didn't do that. They just did
It
it.
wasn't
They
the
just put
selling
it in the
point.
game. They just put
Yeah.
it in the game, and it's just a part of the game, and it allows us to feel like, okay, this is just what the game is. Love it or hate it, this is what the game is. But
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
today, if they release Mass Effect today with modern ideologies, they'd be like, hey guys, look what we did. You can now date whoever you want to date. Blah 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 blah. And it's like you feel like you're almost being pandered to. It's like you
Well,
know what I'm
Cash,
saying?
yeah, well,
Hmm.
Cash, you remember this too because you guys talked about this a couple podcasts ago about like the old school like publications that used to come out, like Game Informer, and all those different things. Remember, there was a thing about like what your game was going to be labeled, rather if it was going to be for teen or whatever, and that made a big deal. Or even with like Grand Theft Auto and the labeling that was put on
Hmm.
that, so that like you maybe had to get your parents to buy the game, and at first you didn't because of the stuff you could do in Grand Theft Auto. I think
Right.
it's some of the same things like that. But like if that happened today, it'd be like make or break for that whole franchise,
Right.
and it wouldn't allow us to get to this point where it doesn't matter, because so it's weird.
I mean, I feel like I've seen because I don't know where the main discussions of I need to dig more, but I know there's a specific section within this game that are rubbing people the wrong way. Where we don't really have to talk about it
Yeah,
per se.
but is that
If I
is
don't
that
want
just
to,
one
but
scene though? That's the biggest thing. Is that one scene and you move on, and it's like
I don't
some
know.
people are
But that's
blowing
the
it
other
out of
thing. We don't
proportion?
know. We
Yeah.
don't know. Like, but that's like one of the biggest talking points. Well, my thing is, I feel like we we are living in a very like sensitive time. Let's say that.
Correct.
And I think that is also playing a factor here. That is definitely playing a factor here. But going back to what we said about Mass Effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't think covert is the best word to use, but there was a way that the story was written to allow for that, where it didn't feel like it was being forced.
What about
Does
Overwatch?
that make sense? Even Overwatch. Think
Overwatch
about
is so
Overwatch.
woke, but they don't like push it down your throat.
Right. It does not. It never does. So I think
What was the
that
rating for
also,
Mass Effect?
huh?
What was the rating for Mass Effect at the time? Was it-
And
Mass
and by the
Effect
way,
is one of
guys,
the best rated games from BioWare.
no, I'm talking about in terms of like age.
Age.
No.
Mass
Oh,
Effect.
it's M. It's M.
It's
mature.
It's an A-rated game. Yeah.
yeah. So by the way, guys, when I say the word woke, I'm just merely categorizing a specific section.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. We got to specify.
I've played Dragon Age 2 before. I never played Inquisition, but I'm definitely not going to play this game only because this style of RPG games is kind of dated to me now. And they
Like
didn't
Fable.
innovate much. Yeah, they didn't innovate much to me. I watched the gameplay. It looks a little stiff. I was expecting it to be more, next gen,
Lifelike.
current gen. I'm
Wukong.
disappointed with the animations and the just overall look of
The
the
dead
game.
eyes.
That's pretty much it for me. But yeah, I definitely get what Heartless was talking about, how it's a complicated issue, especially in the society we live in now.
Yeah.
Because you want everybody to be your audience, but you can't have everybody
Right.
be your audience.
Right.
And I think developers are struggling with that. That decision, like how much do we include, how much do we not? It's interesting to see where this goes. Yeah.
And it seems
It's
like
a balance. I think
fan
there's a
yeah.
balance.
I feel like this should be fan service. I never got into. I'm like you, Josie. I never got into this style of game either. But I feel like this should have been a no-brainer as fan service to those fans who have been waiting on this game.
Yeah.
To come out, because it seems like they did just enough where it's a little different, but they gave the fans that love these types of games and they've been following these games for the last decade or so a new game in the genre to keep going. And it's a shame that like it's getting like tainted a bit for those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes certain kind of completionists to go through this game and get everything and
Right.
do it.
I think my big quarrel with the whole thing is it's like make the game and put the things you want in the game and include everybody. I love that. But when you come off like your main selling point is, hey guys, we've added diversity and inclusion. It almost comes off to me like when Nike did the whole Blackout Tuesday thing. Like, we stand with black people. Like, no, the fuck you don't. Your stocks are gonna go up this week, and that's all you care about because it's trendy.
Yeah.
Right.
So it comes off to me as like pandering.
Right.
But when companies do these things and they don't put it in your face that they did it, it's like, oh wow, you really thought about me, and you didn't have to shove it down my throat that you thought about me.
Yeah.
Right.
But to be fair, I don't think they did that in this though. So I think from people playing the game, they're picking out a section that they don't.
Oh,
like.
100%, 100, absolutely. I would not be surprised if that's the case.
This at all. They just tried to put out a game, but at the same point, that does happen. What you're saying though a lot, but in this case, it's like that's what I was saying. The way the industry is now, the way the fans are sometimes.
It's very
like,
sensitive.
Everybody's sensitive, and everybody has the means of making a pod or putting it up on YouTube or just posting their opinion, and it just runs rampant,
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Not everybody deserves a podcast.
Facts.
that's a fact, though. All right, now goddamn, we did it, bro. I didn't want us to stay on this topic. I just wanted to talk about the damn game and move on and look at us. We're not even in the main section yet. God damn it. Anyways, Horizon Zero Dawn is the other game that came out this week. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in the main segment. Okay? But yeah, that's another game that came out this week. A remaster of a game that was already on PC. But yeah, you guys know, if you guys don't know Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't know what else to really say to you guys at this point. I really don't.
That's a
I
fact.
really,
That's facts.
yeah. So yeah, But yeah, that's now we're gonna get into the main segment of this podcast. Can we do that now?
Yeah,
And I
let's do it.
did that on purpose so we could talk about Horizon Zero Dawn because it's the first topic here. Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone is saying I've read multiple reports from different outlets that classify this game as underperforming, right? And before I give my 2 cents, I'll ask Juju and Jay and the rest of the panel. Let's just say the rest of the panel, their thoughts on this whole situation, right? This game, and to put things into context, this game was released. The original game was released in what, 2017?
Correct.
Then was remastered a few years afterwards, right? No, it was released on PC. When was it released on PC originally?
PC.
Yeah.
August 2020.
How much is the game, by the way?
2020. Wow.
August
Yeah.
2020.
So the game was released in 2020 on PC. I want you guys to hear this, right? And now it's getting a remaster for PC 4 years later, and the game is underperforming. Gentlemen of the panel, thoughts, please.
Can I go first? Because I don't have a lot.
You
to
got
say.
it. Go ahead, man.
I think I've said enough on this a few episodes ago. I think there's a certain time frame for a remaster to be viable, and 4 years is not it. So am I surprised that they're underperforming? If you played this game, the original PC release, this game looks amazing. So
Right.
I'm not sure what the buy-in would be for me to pay $10 to play the same game again I played 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? I just don't get this business move. Was there a side product that was released with the game that I don't know about that they're trying to sell?
No.
Like, it just makes no sense to me. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Too short of a window for a remake.
What's the price tag?
It's
Full price.
It says it's $10. It's
It
full
says
price?
it's $10. It says it's $10 here.
What?
Hold up, let me double check here.
Yeah,
They're saying it's a $10 price tag is incredible value for an upgrade that's far more than
the
a fresh.
upgrade. It's a $10 upgrade.
Nah, fuck out of here. Nah,
Okay.
It's a $10
I
upgrade.
almost started speaking patois.
This dude.
Yeah. All right, let's.
Let me double check because I'm pretty sure. Horizon Zero Dawn remaster theme. Nah, it's $40. It's $50. It's $50 on Steam, right?
never
But
mind
I
what
think
said.
if you own the game, I think you can get a $10 upgrade if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that before. I don't see anything that
Listen,
says that here.
I'm gonna
no.
keep it $1.50.
Listen, I'll test it. I own the game. Let's see if I wanted to upgrade what they would charge.
Yeah, let's see if you get
let's do
that.
that. I'm gonna do that live right now.
It does say it's $10 for an upgrade on this website.
I am seeing.
No, I think that's
So,
only for.
yeah. I have
That's
the
where-
game and it's giving me $50.
Yeah,
as the
so
price
I think it's for
tag.
console. This is for console. So let's read this article from VGC, right? I was not sold on the idea of Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. The original remains one of the best PS4 games, but with Sony's PlayStation 5 strategy focused on more on upgrades than new games, I was extremely cynical about yet another single generation remaster. Having looked closer now, however, I am a little more faithful. Horizon Zero Dawn remaster is particularly sell, but if you are looking at that $10 upgrade fee and wondering if it's worth it, you may be pleasantly surprised. So this is the upgrade fee is only for console.
Gotcha.
The upgrade fee is only for console. So going back to what I said, I don't think this was necessarily this wasn't necessarily for a release for PC, in my opinion. I don't think it was.
Juju got us a comparison in the private chat if you want to pull it up side by
I'll
side.
pull it up. Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, it seems like this is a build update, you know? It seems like texture update, overall engine probably update and tweaks. Remastered, you know?
I'm pretty sure some modder did a better job.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, probably be like some minor upgrades to the overall.
Have you seen those Skyrim mods?
Nah, fuck
It
that. Have
looks
you
like
seen
a
the
next
Cyberpunk
gen game.
mods?
I have seen the Skyrim mods, and
The Cyberpunk mods
they
are
can't
crazy.
run either.
Nah,
So
the Cyberpunk
this
mods.
is a
You guys got to hear
thi-
this, bro. They're
this
real
is a
life.
comparison from
Which
Gaming
one's
Gold.
which? Oh, the remasters on the right.
Yeah, you
No,
can't
but
really tell.
the Cyberpunk mods, guys, no,
Yeah.
legit. They have mods that make the whole game look like real life,
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like a filter.
Atmospherics.
hyper realistic. Everything in the thing looks real.
Yeah, I've seen that. We saw it a couple of months ago, I want to say.
Yeah, just like more. It's upgrading lighting, atmospherics.
I think that's
fog and
all.
stuff.
That's all this did. It's just it was mostly like lighting and
update textures.
Yeah,
The builds probably.
Yeah, that's
Rock
all I'm
cleaner.
seeing.
But you know,
Texture.
this is a move so that people who didn't buy it can get in, and it looks at its best. You know,
Right.
right.
I mean that does look better. You know, facial animations are
In that
changed.
sense, I agree.
but this is
look at the
console.
little girl versus the original.
Yeah, but this is console.
The
though,
lighting
guys.
is better for sure. The
lighting is
better.
definitely better. Yeah, but like I
Yeah.
said, this is only for console though. The free upgrade was only for console. But if you want it for PC, if you want it,
Well, they were saying it's for
Price.
PS5. Yeah, they were saying it's for
Mhm.
PS5. So this is probably a PS5 upgrade
Hmm.
because it was like PC and PS5 is where
Mhm.
what I
Right.
just read. So really, for you PS5 owners, this is for you, so you don't have to
Yeah,
play
it's
the
mostly
old.
for
one.
I'm
PS5.
good. I played the game on PC. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
you
think-
go. I mean, it does look
Did they
better.
just give him a beard? Did they just give him a beard? I think they gave him a beard.
No, he had a beard before. It's just
Oh no, he did.
the
It just
graphics
looks
showed
more
that
you couldn't
detailed.
see it
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
detailed.
it looks more detailed.
They probably went back and redid all. Look like they redid all the facial mocap animation too.
Yeah, I think
So-
I think this is more of like a graphical update though. I don't think it has to
Yeah,
do
look at that. That
anything with like
looks-
mechanics.
yeah.
The lighting looks beautiful.
You know, texture in her hair.
But
Mhm.
here's
I
the
love
thing.
these side by side comparisons, though. This
yeah,
is the only way you should be looking at it.
It looks slightly better. It looks
Yeah.
slightly better. But
For sure.
is it worth it?
Is it warranted?
Slightly, I don't know. It looks way better than before. I
I
think.
mean,
To
So
me,
from all
but
perspectives,
I'm looking at a different angle.
from
I
all
know, all right.
perspectives, I think you got to look at it like this. I think the consumer who already had the game and paid $50, they're not going to spend an extra $10.
What isn't that for? I don't think it's for them though. I don't think
It's not.
for
It's,
anybody
it's,
who
what,
already.
it's what you said earlier. It's for the
For
people
new-
who just got a
new.
PS5 and they never got to experience this
Yeah.
game, and them buying this game means they're going to get a PS5 game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But not only
Yeah.
that, though, but that's not even the main argument though. The main argument is that people are saying the game is underperforming the remaster, and I'm like, what do you expect?
You're not gonna get the same sales when it first came out, but like,
I'm
I guess
interested to know.
it's
Sorry.
interesting. Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
interested to know what their goals were. Like, what, how many copies were they trying to sell with a
Exactly.
remaster? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause for them to say it's underperforming, it means they had a number in their mind, right? They had a number that they wanted.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
to-
think it was going to drive PS5 sales in the drought or heading into? I mean, did it? Because it just came out, right, guys? It just came
Yeah,
out.
it
Right?
just came out. It came out
So-
last week.
Sony
guess
probably
we-
a lot.
We could wait. I guess the other thing would be for you guys to revisit it for Christmas and for December rush, because maybe with it being on the shelves now, Black Friday and Christmas and stuff like that, maybe they might get something. You know, that'd be another time to look at it again.
I don't know.
Because now it's gonna sit there. But like the people, if it's a game that someone can buy for the kid for Christmas, right? But the bundle type of thing.
Yeah,
What that do?
I can see that being viable.
Mhm.
If you haven't played it before, I feel like anybody who played this game 4 years ago is not going to want to buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they bundled this.
yeah.
Yeah, it make-
Black
If I
Friday.
got the part two, if I got part two with it for free, maybe.
Oh,
not for
Or
free,
maybe
as
if you
not for
if you
free
bought-
as a discounted bundle like part
Yeah.
two, because I haven't played part two yet.
like if you got two for the price
Forbidden
of one.
West, yeah,
or
I haven't
something like
played. Yeah, right. I haven't
Did you
played
beat this,
Forbidden
Jay?
West. I'm close to beating it, but it's one of those games. It's kind of like Cyberpunk. You hop in and I run around, shoot shit, and just not. do
That's
the
how I
mission.
play it too.
Yeah,
I swear to you,
it's-
that's how I play it. I hop
It's
on
fun.
and just
It
play it.
can be its own sandbox, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like the
Oh,
world.
That's a good idea, though, Jay.
Yeah,
If they bundled it for the price of one around Christmas or Black Friday, the go with a new console that you just gave.
Or slightly more, so it's not a loss for the new product, because Forbidden West is a
But it's a
massive game.
remaster though, so it's not necessarily,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about if they release the sequel with the remaster. I
Oh,
think
slightly
got
less,
you.
or slightly.
I got you.
slightly cheaper than buying both. I think that would be a better option.
That's
So what
not
would be a
bad at
good
all.
price?
Yeah.
What would be a good price then?
I say 75 for both.
What if this game was just $30 base? Would it be worth it? The remaster. You get a full remastered version for $30.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm just not the consumer. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna play a game I played 4 years ago. That's just I've said that before. That's just
For a new person,
if-
sure, that'd be really good. But I think a new
Right.
person paid 75 for the bundle, like Jay's saying also too.
The
right.
water
Never
looks
played.
beautiful too.
Yeah.
I would buy this for $30 straight up.
Of course you would, Heartless. Come on.
You,
But
have
you're
you
just
played
trying to find that deal.
Did you play the first game?
Nope.
That's why.
This-
that's why.
This is for you.
This
Yeah,
is
this
for
is
you.
for Heartless. Heartless is the consumer.
No, straight up. Juju's dead on. He's spot on, because when I first looked at this, I was like, "Oh damn, I missed this. This came out years ago, but it looks fucking beautiful, and they're remastering it. This is fire."
I do want to say though, Heartless.
Yeah.
The gameplay is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gonna.
Sure.
They're not even showing you the
phenomenal.
gameplay, right?
Yeah,
No, they're just showing comparison.
right now.
The
Yeah.
organic
No,
mech type of game.
No lie, I have no clue what this
shooting
game's about.
shooting parts off the giant machines, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's sick.
There's machines in this
satisfying.
game.
Okay,
Bro,
old school.
they're mech. They're
Jay,
mech
old school
animals,
game.
bro.
I know you know this old school
Yeah.
game. What is it? What is this referencing?
Look at the animals, Heartless.
Not Ico. Is it not Ico?
They're
What is-
robots.
Hold
They're
on,
robots.
I'm
They're all
trying-
robots. All the animals are robots. In
What
this
is
game.
Juju
Most
saying?
of them.
I can't hear.
Sorry,
What's
my
the
bad.
old school game that's like based off the game design of like those big robots that PlayStation had? Famous game, Shadow of Colossus. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
you're right. You're
Shadow of
right.
Colossus gameplay.
You're right.
Heartless. There's Shadow of Colossus gameplay in this.
Bro, I always wanted that game as a kid, and wasn't it scored a perfect game?
I played that game. Yeah,
Yes.
it's always gotten excellent reviews, years after even. Yeah.
But even this game though, Heartless, with this, it's like put that in a beautiful world like you're seeing, but like the mechs are like this. They're like this like nature meets mechanical type of like style.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
that's very interesting. Where they're
It's
almost
a
like
very dope game.
beasts.
So will you climb big robots?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
you can,
And
yeah.
kill them,
What?
yeah.
They're huge. They're not big. They're like huge. They're giant.
Yeah.
They're huge.
They're
I
massive.
I would love to show him
The
one
ones
of
that
the
you have
boss
to go
fights.
on to scan the tower, like to scan
Yeah.
the tower on top of it. That thing is massive. Like, because
Let me
to
show
open
one
up
of
the
the
map, you
bosses.
gotta climb on top of one of them and like scan the thing.
Yeah, because even the gameplay we're just watching there, you don't even see. That's the main selling point of this game.
Right.
You see that you have to figure out how to beat them too.
Yep. You got different arrow types, elements and shit.
That's one of the things I'm actually really enjoying about Monster Hunter is he's getting mounting the monsters, getting a weak spot, and then having your team come up and so.
It does have an element of Monster Hunter to it now that
It
I'm
does,
thinking about it. It
yes.
does.
It does.
Yes.
It's Monster Hunter with mechs, bro. Like this.
Monster Hunter meets Shadow of the Colossus.
I'm not spoiling anything for you, Heartless. Not really.
Transformers.
But you're gonna
Transformers.
see. Yes, that too. Heartless, look at this boss fight.
Look at this. You think that's in the distance? No, that's
She
like
got a
right
fucking
there.
glider. This is Fortnite. They put Fortnite in this.
It's like tech meets like
Oh.
Native Americans.
She has a fucking
Yeah.
Fortnite glider.
Like
Watch.
it's like
Look at the boss. I want you to. I can't wait for you to see the boss.
the platform.
That is a boss.
That's the boss. Look how big it is. Look at the shadows. It's darkening the sky.
It's
Nah,
crazy.
well, I want to see the whole thing. Pause. What?
Well,
Scared
mind you,
Pikachu face?
not all the monsters are that big. It's just
Not
this is
all
a
of them,
boss.
but look
Yeah,
at this. That's a boss.
And she's about to.
You have to climb that.
Yeah, she's climbing.
Nah, this game looked kind of beautiful.
But you got to figure out. You got to figure out, Heartless,
How to climb
take
them?
how to take it down and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you got to start figuring out what these things do. when-
That's what this game is. Like these monsters are all puzzles you have to figure out.
Yeah.
Yes,
pretty
pretty much.
much,
It's just like pretty much like Shadow of the Colossus.
Nah, fam. I'm not gonna lie. 10 out of 10. They got my money.
It is a good game.
Would you pay for the remaster?
I'm just not buying it 2 times.
No, I would not pay for the remaster, and no, I would not pay
you
full
definitely
price.
should. You definitely should pay $50 for this though.
Yeah, because you haven't played it, and
Yeah,
that's why I
if
was
you
saying
haven't
That's
played it, I think
cheaper.
the
That's
remaster
cheaper
is
than
the
the
best way to
real
go.
than what it was.
Yeah, it's
What was the game?
Oh,
I think
shoot.
they're
spoilers for Pinksy.
Well.
This boss fight. Spoilers.
oh too bad. My bad, Pinksy. We could
You
just
know,
take
Cash
that
don't
off
give a
screen.
fuck.
Yeah, there's
I
that
do
voice
care.
again. There's that bit.
I do care, guys.
He's
Don't
like,
say that. That's
"Too bad, so
misinformation,
sad."
bro.
Shout out to Pinksy.
All right.
Bella-
Speaking
Bella
of
Swan,
monster hunting games, Monster Hunter, the beta broke. I guess you could say broke records. It had over 500,000 players in an hour, which is phenomenal to even think about, bro.
Nice.
It's within an hour of its release, bro. This is crazy. I want
Means
we're
nothing.
gonna. It does mean a lot.
It means nothing to me.
Should you? You know what? I want you guys to share your experience with the game.
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
I think the game's phenomenal, but I do think that when you have a game that doesn't come out every year or every other year, like when was the last time a Monster Hunter game came out?
2 years ago, I think.
Really?
Rise. Wait, that was it that recent? Rise.
Somebody get me the date on Rise. I thought the last Monster Hunter game that came out was 5, 6, 7 years ago. Came out 2021. Never mind.
Yeah.
My whole point is mute. I thought the last game that came out like 7 years ago, and I was gonna say when you have a game that goes that long between releases, the beta is gonna get record-breaking numbers no matter what. But this getting 500,000 players when the last game came out only 3 years ago was
I
actually.
think there was a
wild.
drought before that, Carlos. I think there was a drought.
Yeah,
before
because
that.
World was kind of a live service for a while.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's such a strong following for this game.
Of course.
Yeah, it is.
Cult following.
Cult. It's
Yeah.
like it's up there with Final Fantasy.
What are your thoughts about the game so far? I know you a lot. Jay and Heartless got to really get their hands. I didn't really get to play it. I didn't even realize it was ending because I was looking forward to playing with you guys after the podcast. But now I think it ended now, right?
I'm booting it up right now to see if that was a time zone thing or we still have access. Pinksy, do you know if we still have access to this game? Because on Twitter they posted, "Thank you for everyone. It's now over."
That's crazy. But yeah, Jay? What's your experience with the game? How did you like the game?
Fantastic. Mind you, the last time I played Monster Hunter, well, I played a little bit of World, and not much. Pinksy can tell you, I just started the tutorial. That's pretty much it. But
Right.
so I wouldn't count that. But before then, I think maybe 2014.
Yeah.
No, even older than that, because I had my PSP when I was in high school, so definitely longer than that. And that was the last game I played on the PSP.
It's over.
Wow.
I forgot. I forgot what.
659.
Sorry, I forgot what version it was. Like, I don't know if it was Monster Hunter, just Monster Hunter, or Monster Hunter something. But I remember playing that game on the PSP. It was hard as fuck, but I enjoyed it. And so getting back in and it feeling so like familiar, it brings back, a lot of nostalgia, which I enjoyed. But I really love the world, the graphics, amazing graphics, the animations of the monsters, crazy. The fights feel satisfying. The weapons feel satisfying. When you can pull off your special move with an insect glaive, that shit is so satisfying. So I'm looking forward to February. Yo. I'm really gonna jump on the Monster Hunter train.
That's dope. Yeah. Juju, did you get to play?
Yeah, I played Friday night for like 4 hours or so, and I played a good chunk yesterday. Played with the guys. I was playing Cult alongside them, and listening, and we're having good conversations about all the different weapons and stuff like that.
Nice.
So I thought it was excellent. One of the things I liked about it was the sound design, and it was really good too.
Yeah.
Because when you hit a monster and you wound them, the thump that it does, it's like, ooh, smack the crap out of them. Yeah, it gave a good weight and grounding to it. So that was really nice. I think it really did really good. I like Monster Hunter, and I've tried to play other games like it, to fill the time, because before the last one came out, it's always kind of like I play them and then kind of put them down, but I've always liked them. This one feels like it's in this early beta state. It feels like it's the most complete I felt in all the other ones I played in
Right.
the early stages.
Mhm.
So, and also they're like kind of old school in the sense that because I love Capcom for that like they did this crazy beta and they say okay, see you in February, and
Right.
and now it's gonna go off into the sunset. You literally have to wait. So I literally need to like what I do is I try to forget about games. So I literally got to
Yeah.
forget about this until it comes
Until-
back.
I think
hate
that-
waiting.
I think that strat drives pre-orders. That's a good strat to drive pre-order. You release a fire beta, but the game is like 3-4 months away. Yeah,
Mhm.
damn right, people are gonna buy that shit early.
Yeah,
Right.
and it wasn't
Yeah.
a beta like, oh, we got a beta for next week.
Right.
It was a beta for like 3 days, and then at like 6:59, what is it, PT? They were like,
Mhm.
"You're done." And turned it back off. It's like crazy, dude. Like just pull the rib right out of your hand. You're like, really? Let me finish.
Right. But yeah, I didn't really get to play extensively, and this was my first like foray into Monster Hunter. I do have Monster Hunter Wild. No, what's the last one before this?
Rise.
Monster Hunter
Rise?
Rise. I have Rise. I have it. I have it downloaded on my PC right now.
They also
Um,
made
No,
You should
World.
Download that.
Pinksy said World because
World.
shout out to Pinksy. He's the one who got it for me, by the way.
Maybe I should
Um,
get that one and start playing.
Yeah, we should definitely run it if we don't have anything else. Because again, I've never played any Monster Hunter. I think this would be
Nah,
a
we gotta
good
finish
warm up for me.
Warhammer. Nah, I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm
we do.
beefing
We
right
do
now.
need to
I'm
finish
beefing. Nah,
Warhammer.
we interrupting the segment. I'm beefing. I paid $70 for that game. We gotta finish that game.
No, I don't mean right now. But I'm not saying we're gonna play Monster Hunters right this minute, Heartless. I'm
But
saying
you could.
we-
You better
By the
not
way,
exactly.
Monster Hunter. By the way, Monster Hunter has like a spin-off RPG monster
Yeah, I know
collecting
that.
game
Stories,
on
right?
the Switch. Yes, stories. For anybody who loves Monster Hunter and Pokemon, that's your game.
Nice,
Hey,
nice.
yo, I already got Power World.
Don't say that to Jay. You might trigger him.
All
Yeah,
right,
isn't
guys. Good night. It was nice.
Is anybody playing that? Does anybody even play that game?
I mean, we
Power
played
World's
it
fun.
the
I
other
can't lie.
day.
Power World's fun.
Power World is fun. It's fun.
Still?
I cannot. Yeah, listen. I got all the way up to level 20 in one session with No Soul. I gotta say, listen. In all fairness, No Soul cranked up the experience gain slightly, and it made the game so much more fun.
Right. Yeah. it
Oh,
did.
you're on
You
your own
can
server or
control-
something?
Yeah, we were in his server, and we
Server,
got
yeah.
slightly more.
Okay.
So we weren't. It wasn't a dragging experience. It was fun. It was fun. I can't lie.
You got boosted, dude. Okay.
But yeah, but we should definitely. I think Monster Hunter World is a great place for me to like warm up and to get acclimated to the game when it comes out in February. That way, I don't feel like I'm just like dragging behind. You know, when you guys start playing, like, so what does this do? What does this do? I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I want to pull my own weight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does Worlds have all the same weapons?
I'm
How's
pretty
the
sure.
game, how's the gameplay in comparison? Because I
I'm
didn't
not
play
sure.
Worlds as hardcore.
I think Pinksy would be the perfect person to ask that question. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. Yeah, but over 460,000 concurrent players, bro, in an hour is amazing.
It means their servers are doing pretty good too.
Exactly. That's the other thing. Like, if they had so many players and we played it the first night it came out and we experienced no issues, that's amazing, bro. That is amazing to even think about. But yeah, any final thoughts about Monster Hunter?
I love the game personally. I've never played a
Yeah.
Monster Hunter before in my life. I always wanted one as a kid. As I grew older, I had people like a few years ago tell me, nah, you don't want to get a Monster Hunter game. You don't want to get a Monster game. I should not have listened to them. Monster Hunter is a lot of fun. And also, I got 0 glitches in my beta. The entire time, I got 0 glitches. And I beat I don't know if there's a beating a beta, but we shout out to Pinksy. He helped me slay Ray Dow, the dragon, the main boss of the demo. I see Jay over there with his jealousy. I see it. I see it in your eyes.
I got cooked.
I see it. I really recommend it. I really, really recommend the game. You're gonna see us playing it, guys.
Yeah. Last thoughts for me is a good game, great beta. It's perfect storm. So I would say if you didn't get to play it, it's okay. It could be a day went by. You'd like it, and then you'd be able to play it with a buddy or anybody on the
For
network.
years too, I think.
You should be good.
Yeah. All right. So in other news, Unfortunately, Sony has closed Firewalk Studios, the creators of Concord, and also Neon Koi. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with this developer. I don't know what games they've worked on. I think this is like a mobile company, if I'm not mistaken. It should be.
Yeah.
I think it is a mobile game company, and I don't think they had any games released just yet. And the sad part about Firewalk Studios is this was their first and only game, which is sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's messed up.
First impressions matter.
yeah, but I wanted to ask you guys, what are your thoughts about the situation at hand right now? And then I'll kind of hop into the article from Herman Holtz.
I think I think the writing was on the wall for
Yeah.
it, just from being in development. Like whenever you have a game, a lot of times people think games are worked on in like the 2 year sprint, 3 year sprint, and then also it comes out. It's good. Sometimes they take 5, 6, 7 years to make. So that means somebody built a little bit of a career. You know, if they were a junior artist when they started, now they have 5, 6 years of experience under their belt at one
Hmm.
place. And if that didn't work out, that's that game, then they needed to be looking because this was coming.
Right.
Because all the money is gone and there's no money coming in, so there's no point in making something new, even if it's a different game,
Right.
because there's no money coming in,
Right.
based off of development. So it's natural. All those artists are phenomenal. There's another well-known website called ArtStation where if you guys ever go over to that site and you want to look at some of just the actual artwork for a lot of these games, they do what's called an art dump,
Hmm.
and all the artists they're on it, they get permission to post. They post everything, all the concept, all everything, all the best stuff they were. So I was looking at some of that stuff just the other day. It's amazing work and stuff for some of the guns and stuff like that. I just think it was a misstep on art direction a little bit and went too far, got too creative with it and didn't appeal to enough people.
Hmm. Um, I've said this initially, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I think um this game didn't do enough to appeal to a general audience, which is why it died. And I also don't think Sony had enough confidence in the game as well, which is why they did so little to promote it. That's just also it was rumored a couple of weeks ago that the game took 400 million to make, but now they're I guess I'm not sure if this was official numbers, but it said that it was 100 million, but not accounting for advertising and I think something else. I think I'm missing something else here, but it's definitely not accounting for advertising. So yeah.
400 million sounds steep. Even 100 million sounds steep. There's been a lot of games of like the studios crash for smaller amounts,
Hmm.
but yeah.
It's very unfortunate because again, it's their first game. And these guys are actually they're veterans. A lot of them are
Yeah.
veterans because they're ex Bungie devs.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're a team of ex Bungie devs that started their own studio and wanted to,
Tony's trolling. Holy shit.
what is he saying?
He said Concord was my game of the year, dude. At least my second favorite Suicide Squad is still around. Yo, listen, I got a question for you guys. Juju, this actually I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah,
If I
sure.
asked you to loan me $400 and I told you I had a great business plan and we was all gonna get rich, and I came back with $0, are you gonna loan me another $400?
No, sir. I'm not gonna loan you $400 to begin with.
I think that's what happened to Firewalk Studios, unfortunately.
Was
Think
it
so?
the
No,
publisher? Is like the publishing got pulled. You could try to scramble to find a new publisher and do a new game because games are based on publishers, right?
Mhm.
Publishers are usually what's happening. Like when I worked on a game, if I worked on any game, like I've been through like 2 different layoffs at a game studio, So like when I was at High Voltage and I was doing a lot of games for Nickelodeon and a couple other ones. When
Mhm.
that finished, right? People down the hall, my buddies, could be working on another game, but their publisher could be totally different. So they could be working on a new Sega game or the first person shooter title
Mm.
that we're working on for at one point. We're not all working on the same thing. And from the business aspect, you're working on the game based on whoever your publisher is. That's what a lot of third-party studios are doing, stuff like that, or second party, and that's that's the case for this. This was a AAA studio, but it was run by Bungie devs, right? And they went out and they found a publisher. So we can probably find out who was the publisher, and then once it doesn't do good, your next game comes based off of you going to like, E3 or all these different places, and finding a new publisher, pitching your game, or taking a game from a publisher. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to pitch a game at a dev studio. You go to a publisher. The publisher says, hey, we have an idea for a game. This is what we want to do. Sometimes you do some specs and you do some pitches and you win the project like any other thing. But now you get paid by that publisher, right? So that means like all of the salaries, all of the 401ks, all of the insurance, all that different things like that. Your paycheck is coming from that publisher, from whatever they're giving the studio, and then the studio through their regular accounting dishes out paychecks every 2 weeks. So you got to remember with these games, like you got to make payroll every 2 weeks. So like if you got 60, 70, 80 people on a game, and they all got varying degrees of making anywhere from 50 grand a year to 150 grand a year. How much is that in payroll each week that you have to make sure you come up with that money? And if the game gets canceled, it's gone.
I wonder if they were acquired while they were working on, because Firewalk, I think apparently Firewalk has been working on this game for over 10 years, but they only were recently acquired by PlayStation, which was like a year or two ago.
So that means they could have been with somebody else smaller. They could have been funding it themselves through seed money. So think about like when people talk about Star Citizen, right? And how they funded their game from Kickstarter. Games can start as a Kickstarter, then you can go into Seed 1 funding and Series 2, Series A funding, and Series B and Series C funding, where you go out and you get investors that then will pay for a certain amount based on that series of funding that you're under. And then after that, you still got to go out and find something else. So to build the company, they could have got a certain level of funding from venture capital or wherever, right?
Right.
Then after they got the company going, they're working and they got money to like work. Maybe all of them took a cut the first 5 or 6 years. Maybe the team was only a team of 15. Then they grew to a team of 30 after they got another round of funding. Then it grew to a team of 60 after they got another round of funding, right? But now you got 60 people, but maybe that now puts us around 2 years ago, what Cash just said. And then maybe that's when they got the game prototype that they had. They sold it to Sony, or they like pitched it to Sony, and Sony said, cool, we're going to publish this game. So now Sony's going to give them another chunk of money. And that chunk of money is only to pay for payroll and to keep the lights on.
Right.
And then with the hope of like when the game comes out, that Sony's going to make their return back with the deal on the table, possibly of sequels and probably other new IPs.
Not only that, they were trying to make this multimedia too, because they were trying to make TV shows, comic books, a bunch of other stuff with Concord.
So the one thing I always used to like, and now that I'm in like this stage in my career where I do a lot more creative directing and stuff like that, I always want to see what the pitch deck looked like, what the original pitches were, and what the pitch was that got them the project, right? So there was a seed of faith based off of the work that they were doing, the early vertical slices they were showing, which a vertical slice is basically a section of the game that shows how the game is going to be. Very, very early on, before they get it. This is before betas, before whatever. You got to hit it's called a vertical slice. Yeah, so it's a level of gameplay to a certain level of completion, and then you show them. So it could be one level, could be half a level, and then that's what gets funding a lot of times. And then from there, you build off of that, all the design functions and stuff of the game, all the look and feel. You keep building off of that, So.
But I think this was also not. I think this was greenlit by Jim Ryan, and I don't think this had nothing to do with Herman Holtz. Okay. One of the reasons also, I think this game was also I think it was very experimental what they did with Concord. They dropped it to see how fans would react to it, to see if they would garner some kind of attention. And when it didn't meet that standard, what they did was pull it. And once they pulled it, because they issued a full refund, they can now write this off as like a loss.
The thing is, they were going to write it off as a loss no matter what.
You think so?
If I know so, if they spent $400 million making the game and they only made $1 million back, that is a $399 million loss.
400 million sounds like a lot.
No, I know it's, but you know what I'm saying.
200 million.
Let's just say 200 million.
Let's say it's the 200 million that we heard recently this week.
A loss is a loss. Anytime you spend more money to push a product out than you make, that is a loss.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But all right, this is the internal. Can I read this internal email? This is actually directly from PlayStation, so I think I can. An update from PlayStation Studios. Okay. Below is an internal email from Herman Holtz. So it's the new CEO of Sony Interactive. All right. It says, "Dear team, today I want to share some important update from Sony Interactive Studios Business Group. We consistently elevate our games portfolio and status on our projects to ensure we are meeting near long-term business properties. Right. As part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen SEI's studios business, we have had to make a difficult decision relating to two of our studios, Neon Koi and Firewalk Studios, expanding beyond PlayStation devices, crafting engaging online experience alongside our single-player games are key focal areas for us as we evolve our revenue streams. We need to be strategic through in bringing our games to new platforms and recognize when our games fall short of meeting player expectations. While mobile remains a priority growth area for the studio, we are in the very early stages of our mobile efforts. To achieve success this area, we need to concentrate on titles that are in line with PlayStation Studios' pedigree and have potential to reach more players globally. I think that kind of means, like, again, we know what that means. They weren't performing at what they were expecting from a PlayStation Studios title. But the Neon Koi is where I'm kind of like drawing a blank from because I don't know any games from Neon Koi. Probably why they closed.
Probably were all in development, so
probably why they closed.
Yeah, they
jokes write themselves sometimes.
Right?
Yeah, they were just in development, so they weren't set to come out anytime soon, so they're gonna take a while.
Oh, they had a mobile action game that was in the works that got canceled. For their hard work and endless passion to innovate. Okay. Regardless, Firewalk, as announced in early September, an important update on Concord. Certain aspects of Concord were exceptional, but others did not land with enough players, and as a result, we took the game offline. We have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options. So you remember last week or 2 weeks ago when we saw that they were kind of like still updating information about Concord on Steam. I think that was also them trying to figure out what the next possible step for this game was going to be in this studio. And I think they just came down to the decision of just like closing the studio.
Yeah. And Neon Koi and that studio was built up with two different studios.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in Helsinki and Berlin. So they were like...
They're not
Oh,
here.
so
They're
not here.
Finland and Germany.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, okay.
So they're kind of like, I see them almost as outsourcing.
And they don't have any games because I'm looking for games. They don't have.
No, they're just developing stuff. So they probably got cut like a lot of other studios got cut this year because of the crazy climate. So if you're not going to come out with something in the next time soon, and they unfortunately got cut.
All right. You either get cut or get absorbed into another studio to work on another game. And I think they're just cleaning house.
Yeah, this is just a mobile studio. They were just a separate. I think they're a separate issue than from Firewalk. They were just individual damage as all the
collateral
that were happening this damage. Year. Just from how it's been this year. There's been hundreds of studios closed.
There's been a lot of closures this year. It's insane, bro. We've had so many closures this year. I don't even want to think about it, bro.
Yeah, so it's like, Firewalk. They got a bad grade and they got closed. Neon Koi just was probably working on something amazing, and PlayStation's like, we need to still cut cost before we get into the new year. so we can try to be in the black.
I mean, PlayStation has closed. They've canceled a lot of their live service games so far. I think they canceled 6 about a month ago. 6 with we don't know what the titles were or anything. They just got canceled. So I think you're seeing the climate of live service game, and I think they're being more cautious of what they release when it comes to live service games.
And they were a new studio. So Neon Koi used to be called Savage Game Studios, and they were founded in 2020 and 2022. So it wasn't like they haven't been open that long for the two respective places.
So why did they rename? That's okay.
Now they might have got bought when they might have renamed when they got bought.
Okay.
From to Sony and came into the Sony thing, but like, that's not long enough to be open.
No, so that's also probably why they closed them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they were acquired 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So was Firewalk. Firewalk was also acquired 2 years ago.
Yeah. See. Oh.
What?
I know people that work there. So probably Monsters is a studio I've known a couple people that worked that started that studio. That studio was started in 2018.
Yeah.
And they were like ex-Bungie guys and stuff like that. So their studio turned into I think their studio turned into Firewalk.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe they merged with somebody else. Okay.
That's interesting.
All right. Yeah, because the parent company was probably Monsters and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Yes, okay.
Okay.
So, can't remember what they were working on before.
But yeah, that's very unfortunate. Any final thoughts before we move on, guys?
Good luck to all those developers and artists and stuff like that. Land on their feet for the new year, hopefully.
But yeah, let's move on. So we are now to the gamer Reactual section. Wow, the gamer Reactual section.
I thought it was the gamer Reactual.
No.
Okay.
Gamer Reactual, Heartless.
Okay, just gotta get it right.
I feel like we always have this exact same argument every week.
And you guys are here every week. That's the funny part about it.
Guys, listen, for everyone tuning in, I am stupid.
No, you're not. But we need some jingles for every time we switch segments. I just don't know what to do yet.
You just need like a cool riff like you have in your intro music. Just something.
Right.
Just play some music in between as a segue.
Right.
Listen, I could build something. I'll play something on the guitar.
Yeah. But yeah, so this week we wanted to talk about something that we kind of like collectively had an issue with this week, which is power creeping in video games, right? Recently there was a patch that got released for Guilty Gear. Now, the patch is not a new thing when it comes to any game in general. And specifically when we're talking about power creeping, I think it's everywhere pretty much. It happens in shooters, fighting games as well, even card games, because even Marvel Snap, I'll experience power creep from time to time, which when it comes to like newer cards, sometimes the newer cards are like extremely effective. Let's just say that. Right. And then a few months afterwards, they nerf the card. And I think it's the same issue that we're currently facing when it comes to Guilty Gear. Now, Jay, I'm going to ask you first because I know you have some strong opinions about this situation.
Let's frame the question one more time so the audience knows exactly.
All right. What are your thoughts about, what are your thoughts about not patches, but the idea of power creeping in games?
Yeah,
do you think it's a inherently bad thing, or do you think it's just some mechanic within, I guess you could say, live service games to keep the game fresh? What do you think? What's your idea of what that is?
Sure. Let's take this way back. I think the idea of power creeping as a strategy to refresh your game has been around forever. Like take it back to TCG, like old school tabletop, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon TCG. Every time a new series came out, the older cards were now all of a sudden useless, and so you have to either trade or buy to keep up with the meta, because
Right.
meta has been around for a while, and companies like to drive their meta because the meta is going to drive sales. I think it's also a strategy in the gotcha gaming. What do you call it? Industry? I don't know if it's an industry, but the gotcha gaming world.
Scared.
That's a strategy. The Genshin Impacts and all those types of games where they release a new character that all of a sudden makes the other characters useless, or you need that new character to take on a new boss or something. Some companies are more aggressive with the way they do it. Some
Mhm.
companies are a little bit more tame. But I think when it comes to competitive games, that's where it's an issue. If you're playing a single player game, it's up to you if you want to spend money to compete. But when you're playing games that have like major tournaments and stuff like that, and then you shake up the entire meta in the hopes, and this is my guess, in the hopes of selling new characters, I think that's scummy. I don't know.
Juju,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I don't know. Sometimes I like the way the whole power creep thing happens, only because I feel like it makes it a new game. I get upset at sometimes because, like, as you guys know, I stay with games with fighting games a lot. In terms of like through thick and thin, and I try to then play multiple characters just to keep my interest in the game.
Right.
So, especially with Guilty Gear, it feels like every version of this game has been kind of like this. This one seems a little bit more egregious than other times in the past, because some other times it's been like, there were certain characters that just needed to get nerfed because you got tired of seeing them in grand finals of all the majors. And in this case, this was their attempt to just do a whole like
Jacob.
refresh. I think heading into the new season. Which I've been playing it a bit. I still need more time with it, but like it feels really different.
Yeah, this patch was aggressive.
I feel like I don't know how to play a little bit with some of the characters. And if I can go through my 5 or 6 character lineup that I usually play, and I can't find one where I'm like, oh, I got to go back and like lab everything. I feel like in certain instances, even timing on like hitboxes feel a little bit different. But I've liked some of the changes for some of the characters. Like I think Chip's change is like amazing. Whereas like I wish Faust and like Happy Chaos, because a couple other ones got a little bit more of a nerf, and not giving Potemkin like armor,
more armor,
like at least give me another grappler to deal with him. I feel like now there's not, because this gameplay still seems to be like you got to really like it. It's not like Zangief, not like any other. You got to really like want to learn how to play him. So in that case, I think it's good. But I do see, in our climate, I think how we were when Strive came out versus how we are now. I feel like the developers got to be a little careful, because I feel like the player base can be really turned off really
because
really bad
very
now.
Fickle, very fickle.
It's more fickle than before, and you don't have any room to like lose a player base. I think
because it's not a new game anymore.
Right. And luckily, there's not any kind of like major. They always come out at the perfect time, and I don't know how they did this, because they did this before Street Fighter came out too. Remember, they came out with the patch. And my sucky character that I've been playing, Sin, was actually good with the new patch. And then
after you switch games,
after I switch games, But like I played. We got to play the season though, Cars. Remember, we got to play the full like new season of like how that was. Then Street Fighter came out, so like they had a good 2 months maybe before anything else came out. And right now, I feel like they're in that lull again where we can do a major update and everybody's going to play our game. Because I don't think there's any other major competition right now. I don't know how they make their dev cycle to be in between everybody else and have their own time to shine, which I think is brilliant.
You just got to make a unique product. If your whole ideology about success is evading other people's success, then you're never born to succeed.
Yeah, I mean that sounds good, but what I mean by that is that like you're in a competitive market, so you got to find a place where your product can shine, and that's what I'm saying more so. They're not necessarily evading people; they're
Right.
finding the best case scenario where their product
For
can
them.
shine. And what else is out right now in the fighting game genre right now that's going to give them any competition? Really, nothing. So there's no excuse for you not to go and pick up their game. So I think anytime you give your game the best case leg up, it's the highest form of like taking care of your game.
Right. But yeah, I'd say a lot of a lot of this patch is more of like reworking of characters. But they were very drastic, right?
Yeah.
I thought my
Very aggressive. Yeah.
very aggressive, but I thought Nago was at first when I read the patch notes, I thought Nago would have been like ass now. He's not. He's actually
That's
still
pretty good.
he's still Nago for
Mhm.
the most part. But when it comes to like characters like Ram, and I think Milia now,
I'm about to
so Chip
leave. Okay.
Chip is
I
no
used to
longer
always
the
hate
lowest
Ram,
life,
though.
but
So,
Chip is no longer the lowest life in the game. By the way, it's Milia. Milia
I've
is
been
now the
watching
lowest.
King Rex like work through that. it's tough right now.
Yeah, so Milia is now the
Rex.
lowest life in the game.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's a lot of because they did a lot of adjustments to even life, to like
Yeah.
your life bar. They brought up the defensive characters and their life.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do the timing with the with basically their version of drive gauge like in there? Like that's a little bit different now too. What's it called? Rapid
Oh, you mean wild assault?
yeah, wild. I keep calling it rapid
What-
assault. Wild assault. Yeah. There's
What
some
about
tweaks.
it?
I thought there were some tweaks to that too, also where the timing
Certain
on all the
characters,
are
certain
different based
characters.
off based off the nerf certain tweaks. Yeah.
Yeah, certain characters got different wild assaults. Like Potemkin now has a different wild assault. I think he has the white wild assault. So there's a lot of changes that occurred.
I think Tony has a very interesting comment here. He says, I think it's a clever system, money spending wise. It replaces the guy who knows where to spend money after a season with a guy who spends money carelessly on an addicting game. Yeah, and that's how gacha games make money.
Yeah, that's exactly how they make money.
Mind you, I'm not calling Guilty Gear or any other mainline game gachas, but there's a
It's a
whole
strategy.
gaming industry out there that
Hmm.
literally makes money on FOMO. And
I mean, that's
you
why
know,
it's called
power
gacha, I'm
creep.
assuming, right?
Yep,
I mean,
and
yeah.
gambling. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
It makes me want to go and buy. And I thought I had bought Dizzy. Now I have to go back and buy her because like
I bought this.
yeah, I'm gonna go buy her too because I pulled it up and started playing. I was like, wait a minute,
Listen,
I thought I bought her already. I was like, I can't not have that character like grayed
Juju.
out.
Let me tell you, I do not know how to use Dizzy, right? And I just bought her, picked her up, and played cash, and I won like 7 out of 8 sets. No,
She's
we were
busted.
7. We were 7
Jay.
for 8. We
Jay,
were
you
7
gotta
for
hit.
8.
You gotta hit the floor. You gotta hit the stages. Get that. Use it right now. Go to
Listen,
get that to.
I gotta learn me a bread and butter, and then I'm gonna hit the ranking. But I
You gotta
still
hit the
wanna,
ranking right now.
I still wanna play Ram though. As much as I hate the changes they made to her. She's not. Mind you, I'm not saying she's completely useless, but there are
Right.
certain things that they did to Ram. If you guys play Guilty Gear, you know that Ram Lethal, when she throws her swords, she's pretty much useless, right?
Right.
So you'd either have to throw your swords in a way where you can walk over to them and pick them up, or you have meter to super right after throwing them. That way you get your swords back after supering. So here's what they did. You can't pick up your swords anymore, even if you walk over to them. You have to wait 6 point something seconds for the swords to slowly float back to you. Right? But that's not the worst part, Juju. You can no longer super unless you're holding both your swords. So why is there a sword throw mechanic in the first place? If my character loses a super,
Bro, they're just
Don't let
saying
me
that
start.
she's too good, that they got to take
Good.
away her tools.
Good.
But I think they're-
like she used to beat me up all the time.
No, I also think that they're looking at just like high level play, and that's
Yeah.
all they use to make that.
I had this conversation
adjustment.
with Cash. Yep.
Yeah, that's all they did, because they're looking at the high level players play the game who uses that character, and like, nah, she's too good.
But she
That's-
wasn't dominating anymore.
Exactly.
That's what I
That
thought.
was season 1.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
exactly.
thought.
Like
She never
go
dominated.
nerf happy chaos.
bro.
just let that
Nerf
dude
had
How
do
many
whatever
how
he
many
wants.
evos? How many evos on the Happy Chaos one now? Like
I think
4?
about 4.
Like
See,
4?
that's
That's
different
one.
though. Happy Chaos is just not playing Guilty Gear. You know what I mean?
It's a different game.
He's
He's
playing
like Call of
he's playing
Duty, bro.
Overwatch. Yeah, he's
It's
playing Call
like
of Duty.
with
Exactly.
Omni movement. It's like Call of Duty with Omni movement.
That's
Because
crazy.
now he has a. Doesn't he have homing now?
Yeah, it always
He had it
homing.
before. Yeah,
always
before.
had it.
homing.
Yeah.
It's always been hit scan too. It doesn't even travel
Yeah.
across the screen. It's fucking hit
Zero
scan.
kills.
I think you're gonna see that. Like, I think Faust is gonna be a problem though for people with his tweaks. I really do. There's gonna be that random dude that like usually plays him, and all of a sudden he will show up. Watch, he'll be
Isn't
sitting there
it-
talking about this at the next combo breaker or something where he's just gonna take over.
Because
You know who's the problem
his
now?
items operate differently now. I think.
Yeah,
his items are totally
yeah.
different now,
Yep.
and he has one move that can launch his items now, which is like
I want
the
to
golf
say though, Cash.
thing. Yeah.
I just before I got on earlier, I fought a Faust player and I killed him with his own. You know the little mini Faust that he
Yeah.
summons that run across.
You're
I don't know
lying.
Really?
what I did, and they went the other way. I'm trying to think, what did I do? And I must have hit them or something. And they
Like, you hit
went
him back toward
the other
him?
way, and they ran and killed Faust. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
That sounds like something new.
Yeah, I need to figure out what I did because if I can do it again, there's my answer to Faust.
So it's random.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's random. Yeah, maybe it's like I summon this thing and it can either attack you or come back to hit me.
That's insane.
Well, I heard Slayer's still gonna be a problem, so there's
Yeah.
that. I've been
Yeah,
playing.
there's a lot of
him,
characters that are still
Yeah.
going to be problems. There's a lot. Of them.
Axel, I actually there's
Axel I
one
heard was good,
change
yeah.
that I don't mind. Axel getting a buff was good because the
Mhm.
only reason I didn't pick up Axel was because he was so bad.
Mhm.
I've never lost to an Axel online before.
But now he's even worse in comparison to the rest of the. Just kidding.
No, I heard he's really good.
No,
now.
I think he's really good.
Yeah.
He's good, but he's not.
You'd be like,
great.
what?
He's better, but he's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I think they said he got some minor buffs, but it's nothing to really shake a stick at.
His tornado looks like it operates differently now.
So
Mhm.
when's the next?
It's
major?
a launcher.
hmm
Anybody know when's the next major? Like when's the next tournament?
I'm not sure. I think we're done for
they
majors
have-
for the rest of the year.
Are we? Because I'm trying to think. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I think
Is
we're
there
done
none
for
in
it.
the winter. Oh.
I don't think so. I think the
For
last
Guilty
one
Gear?
was East Coast Throwdown.
Oh. Yeah. And who took that? Was that Nitro?
I think Nitro won.
Yeah. I really like watching Nitro. He's
Well, that sucks.
He's
So,
amazing.
so we're just gonna have a lot of online tournaments then probably.
Pretty much.
Mm.
But yeah, guys, that was it for our gamer reactual section. What are your thoughts? You can share them in the chat while we,
Don't we gotta send?
Oh, but by the
Okay,
way,
what's up,
Heartless,
Reaper?
you didn't. Hold up, but Heartless,
Yeah, he
you
didn't say anything.
you didn't give us your opinions about this. I
About the
almost
power
moved
creep?
on. Huh?
About the power creep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So as we were talking about it earlier in the private chat, in the group chat earlier, I think the idea of power creep falls under a bigger philosophy, and that's just overall balance. And I think the problem that most companies face in terms of balance is obviously they want to have a high level competitive game where professional players feel like they're playing a fair game. But sometimes that does not translate well to the casuals. In these
Yep.
games, you have a lot of varieties between characters, and you want to create all different archetypes.
Mhm.
Some archetypes become easier for the casual player to figure out than the other. So they go pick up a character and like, yo, this guy's good. And then they go pick up another character and be like, this guy's bad. But what they don't understand early on in their gaming career, what they don't understand is if you truly figured out both of these characters 100% to their fullest, would your opinion still stand? You know what I'm saying? This dilemma, I actually have no clue how gaming is going to solve this dilemma. I have not a single clue because you cannot appease everybody. I personally think that if you want your game to live on, you cannot, and I know this is going to sound backwards, you cannot cater to casuals. If you ruin the competitive integrity of your game, it'll never survive as an esport. And from there on, it'll die. And I understand that casuals will hear this. And they'll be like, damn, I want a game I can play and not have to be professional, unfortunately, if it's an esport game you're talking about, maybe you're in the wrong business. You know what I'm saying?
Can I interject?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say, Heartless, the pro space in whatever game title you're talking about, it is not as big as the general audience of your game. The general consumer that's buying your game is the guy down the street who likes anime and he thinks that, oh, this character looks cool, let me go buy Guilty Gear. Like, it's your average player that's making up most of your consumer
base.
base. And so if you're catering to pros, you're building a game that's not gonna last. Um, that's not gonna last because you're gonna lose out on most of your audience. I don't think that's a great strategy at all.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
don't. Yeah, I don't think that's a great strategy.
That's why it's a dilemma.
Now, say again.
That's why it's a dilemma. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think developers have to manage that relationship between, especially when you have a title that's a popular esports title, they have to manage that, that relationship between the casual and the pro player.
Right.
And if you do it wrong, you'll lose your game. Lose your audience. Nobody's gonna buy that new patch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not saying this is the case with Guilty Gear. I think Guilty Gear fans are just hardcore. They're not gonna. It's an IP. It's not gonna.
All 200 of them.
He said all to you'd be surprised. No,
come on,
Heartless. You'd be surprised. The Guilty. I was going to work. I was in Brooklyn going to work. I just doxed myself. Anyways, I was in. Y'all don't know where I'm at.
They're
I was
gonna
in
find you.
Brooklyn.
They ain't gonna find
I was
you.
in Brooklyn going to work, and I saw this dude. It was Halloween. I saw this dude in a full-on Johnny costume, and I'm like,
Johnny?
what? Yes, Johnny from fucking Guilty Gear. The hat with the J and everything, the big ass belt and everything. Like, I'm telling you, Guilty Gear has a fan base, bro.
Bro, I know Guilty Gear fans are hardcore when I realized people were gunning for the instant kill back in the game. And I'm like, I don't want that back in the game. I don't know why you want that back in the game.
Yeah. Why you want
That is fucking ridiculous.
Let's admit though, Cash, that Dizzy insta kill animation is
It's
fire.
Yo, I don't know if have you ever seen Dizzy's Insta Kill, Juju?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
So basically, she fires like a freaking beam.
Oh, the beam.
Nuke.
Yeah,
that was an excerpt too, but like I need to see the updated version.
So she fires a nuke. Basically, it misses. Right? It misses the character and blows up. You see the big ass mushroom cloud and everything blows up in the background, and the character is so petrified that they give up. That's her. Yo, that shit is hilarious.
Oh man.
Yo, bro, when I saw that, bro, I almost died, bro. That shit is funny, bro.
And what made it really good was that every character had a unique reaction
to it, yeah.
To the explosion. Like,
yo, when Leo saw it, Leo was like, yo, this shit was crazy, bro.
Wow.
That guy, he just Slayer around and smirks.
Slayer was like, he had no reaction. He was like,
we good, Queen Dizzy.
You got this.
Yeah. So bad guy, he turns around and smirks.
I will say it's a good,
that's my
good
daughter.
Story arc for the character though, her.
Yeah.
Because she was just a girl in the other ones. You kind of see her full.
Right.
She couldn't control her powers in excerpt, and now she can. It's kind of like a play on like, okay, you don't got to get. You
right.
Serious. My bad. I forgot who you were.
Right. It's crazy though that Soul Bad Guy is her dad. I only recently found that out.
Crazy. Yeah.
Soul and Justice is her mom. I think Justice is her mom.
No. I thought
is Kai is the boyfriend. Kai
I thought Sin.
Yeah.
I thought Kai.
Sin is Kai's son.
But I thought Kai and whoever else was
Kai and Dizzy. Isn't Dizzy. Kai and Dizzy is Sin's his parents.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's all kind of a messed up family tree, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, we just went over the lore together, Cash. It's pretty interesting. If you guys, are interested in the lore, they dropped a update. They dropped a fan update in the game. You can check it out. Oh, there's also the
8-hour video you can watch on YouTube.
Man,
yeah, that's wild.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of lore there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for tonight's episode. But Heartless, before we dip out, let's go to our speedrun section. Let people know.
Speed run.
Yeah.
I got you right here. Okay, so the first one. You guys ready?
Yeah,
we are.
For those of you that don't know, I'm going to speed run the title of these headlines. And if you have anything to say about it, just stop me. And if you don't, I'm going to keep going. So you snooze, you lose. This is that speed run, okay? This is where we find out what's the most important piece of news in the gaming industry. All right. Ready, set, go. First one, Space Marines 2 reveals Dark Angels chapter, enhancing customization in its multiplayer mode, coming free in December. That's 1 month from today, guys. Anyone got anything? Nothing. Cool. Next one, almost 15 years after release, Skyrim gets Covens of Crones, a fan-made DLC-sized content, including new maps, bosses, characters, and spells. Next one we have up, Alan Wake 2 recoups most development and marketing costs. Control 2 on track for full production in 2025.
That's crazy.
Back up.
Alan
Control
Wake thing.
2? Really?
Control 2, yeah. They announced it earlier this year.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm
but
excited for
the fact that Alan Wake just broke, it's not even, it hasn't even recouped costs yet, bro. And the game came out almost a year and a half ago. Wild. Because he won didn't he win Game of the Year last year? What won Game of the Year last year? I think it was Alan Wake, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Heartless. Continue. My bad.
This next one is a big one. No, not that's the point of the show. The next one is a big one. Apex Legends bans Linux, making it unavailable on a Steam Deck. So for all you Steam Deck extraordinaires, good luck to y'all.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
There probably was an exploit or something in it.
Yeah,
Probably.
so there's a recent hacking exploit. I don't know. I feel like you can, if you own a Steam Deck, you could dual boot, right? You could dual boot and just run it on Windows.
You can do it like they do for PlayStation,
Right. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna kill, the game on the Steam Deck.
No.
The game's kind of on its way out anyway, right?
I think the core fan base is still there. But all the new players that came over from COD a couple of years ago, they definitely left out.
Is Timmy still there?
Yeah, Timmy plays.
Apex is
Timmy's
thriving.
Timmy's on Moist. He plays for Not Moist, not Moist. He plays for Not Moist.
What?
No, the team is called Not Moist. It's actually a pretty interesting. No, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Funny.
The team, the team used to be called Moist. It's an esports or big esports.
Yeah, that's for Moist Critical, right?
Yes. So
That's his esports team.
They were supposed to participate in ALGS a couple of years ago, not too long ago, and they couldn't get their travel paperwork because of the team name. So they had to change the team name to Not Moist.
Back up.
What?
That sounds like somebody made it up. What do you mean you couldn't get your paperwork for traveling? Traveling where?
They were going to the UK for ALGS,
and because their name was Moist, they couldn't go to. They couldn't.
Why?
Go, even though they had the money for it. That sounds like somebody needs to come clean on what they didn't have money.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm a fact check this. Like this was on YouTube. I didn't
that
fact check it.
sounds crazy.
Right.
You get full grown men and women who are rappers that have crazy names that they go everywhere. You couldn't get past customs.
Any knowers in the chat? Yeah.
He said he sued him.
Yeah. So people know about this story.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that must have been a big payout because that seems like a violation. Like
Weird. So Nicki Minaj can go wherever she wants,
Right.
but you couldn't get past
Moist
customs because your name's Moist.
Yes. So
It just don't sound right.
They were unable. The team qualified
Money's
for
just
majors
bigger,
in
bro.
LA, but was unable to obtain visas for the players to travel. So it was to the U.S., not outside of the U.S. That's crazy.
At that point, you put your name under the parent company, whatever the LLC is. Like,
But that's the name of it. But that's the name of the esports team, Moist.
I know, but like you can make another name.
Again,
man.
if anybody wants to fact check this, let me know. But it's the internet seems to be agreeing with me. That's what happened.
Sexy Red could travel, but Moist is where they draw the line.
You ain't coming in here.
Pause.
Yep.
No entry
Oh
for
my
you.
The team,
Right.
the team competed under the name Not Moist in the ALG's Year 4 split playoffs.
So at that point, if this is your like livelihood, is the name really that important? Because obviously you're not established yet. You
Right.
know, like why not change it to like
Yeah.
Like I said, it's bigger
like,
money, bro.
They're big. They're
like-
big org. No, they're a huge org. They got multiple.
but like,
teams.
can you? What's the initials? What are the initials? I would have went like
MST,
ML
I
or
don't know.
something, you know, something like whatever.
I didn't know that Most Critical's team was that big of a deal either.
Timmy's
Like
on there.
M
bro.
Critical would have.
Oh, he's on there?
Timmy plays for Not Moist for Apex, their Apex team. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's,
That's what's up.
he was crazy in LGS, bro.
Like M Critical would have been perfect. Just
Yeah.
call it that.
M Critical. Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
We're just doing the job for him.
They're a top Apex team. Yeah, we know. Yeah, Danny. But you know, it really always comes down to winners, either TSM or freaking what's that guy's team? Falcons, something like that. Falcons, TSM, or Dark Zero. It's either one of those.
That's still TSM is still like
Yeah, they have the most
dominating.
titles. They have.
In
They're
all
not
the
dominating now, but they have won it the most. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Tonight was
Cool.
pretty good. Tonight was
That was a
fun.
good one. That was a good one.
Tonight was fun, guys. Tonight was
Yeah,
fun.
that was dope.
We should do this again sometime. You know, maybe next week.
Bro, honestly, whenever Juju's on the show, and Jay too, but he's been on the show like week after week for a few weeks now. But
Jay's past a regular. This
what I'm
motherfucker's a
saying.
co-host now, bro.
You know what?
whenever we have
Jay-
Juju on the
Jay's
show,
that
it's a good time.
Oh, thanks, man. I love coming on. Thank you.
Oh, for sure.
Jay's like the guy who has like the desk in the background that's always there.
Right.
You know, that supports the two hosts. He's the bedrock of the show.
Right.
He's the Chewy.
I'm
You're
still
the
new.
Chewy
I'm
one.
still new, guys.
Mhm.
I need my hospitality. I'm still new.
Yeah.
All right, Juju. Let the people know where they can find you, bro.
Yo, you can find me on a couple of different things. You can find me on my Twitch page, Evil Juju. Go ahead and find me. I play a lot of different games. I'm not evil, but in game though, I made you mad plenty of times. Anyway, so Evil Juju, check me out on Twitch, Twitter, CBW3. My name is Charlie B. Williams III. CharlieBWilliams.com is my website for all my artistic stuff. Full scale developer, 3D artist, creative director. So like, check me out. I'm around.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Jay.
Yeah. You guys, apparently I'm always here, so you know where to find me.
You find me in the back. Stays up.
I'll be turning the lights out, locking up after cash. But yeah, it's JoltyJ, JolteJay on Twitch, on Twitter, or X, on YouTube as well. So go drop your boy a follow. Check me out when I'm streaming. I'm also the host of Guilty as Charged, the Guilty Gear game show on the KXI network every Saturday at 8 p.m. sharp Eastern time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Heartless.
Yo, it's your boy, the Heartless _99, aka Street Jesus, aka the sexiest dude in KXI. Just kidding. You guys can catch me at Twitch at the Heartless _99, and make sure to follow the team channel at the KXI Network. It's just KXI Network, no spaces. Give us that love. That channel means more to me than my personal channel because I love this team. Shout out to everybody. Thank you very much.
Now, before I give my shout outs, my, self, I'm going to tell you guys where you can find me. You know what I mean? Shout outs to our producer, Germ. I mean, he's an unsung hero of this podcast. You don't see him that often, but trust me, Germ is behind the scenes and he's doing his thing right now, bro. So shout outs to Germ for that. But one thing I want you to do to support Germ is to go check out his YouTube channel, Soul of Germ. He's putting a lot of work on that channel over there, so go over there. If you're not already following the channel, go check it out and show your support. But with that said, I go by the name Cash, and y'all can find me here on my channel or on the KXI network. So please go give those two things a follow, like Heartless just said. But we're gonna give you guys our regular sign off right now, okay? And that's it for today's episode of Gamer Actual. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe to your favorite podcast platform and choice and leave a review. It really helps us out. You can follow us on all your You can follow us on all our respective Twitters, and links are in the description. Now, with all that said, actual gamers, it's your boy Cash, Heartless, Juju, and myself,
NJ.
and Jay.
Yo,
I
we
know. I was
fighting.
looking at him. Wait. I stopped to look at him.
We fighting.
He got confused in the J's.
Wow,
Yeah,
Jay.
and Jay. But with all that said, actual gamers, have a good night. Peace out.
See you guys.
Peace.
All right, who we rating out to, guys?
Mm,
You can ask the chat though. No, wait. Oh, never mind. We'll bring that back next week. We already did our sign off. It's all good. You know what we forgot?
That was awesome, guys. Thanks for having
Question of the week.
Peace, yo. Oh, question of the week. We didn't do that.
We
Okay.
didn't do it, but we can save that for next week. It's fine because we already signed off. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's gonna taint the whole editing process. Fuck it, I can't
me.
bother.
Yeah, unless you splice it in.
Right. I'm not doing that. I was wondering. Yeah, Reaper.
Yeah,
we
you
definitely
was.
forgot.
PC
But
is
we'll
playing
do that
Dragon
next
Age. If you.
Hey, I want to go check out Pizzo. Let's go
Yes,
send
sir.
Pizzo some love. He was our guest last week.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It went by quick, man.
Yeah, the time went by fast. Whenever we're having like dope conversation, that tends to happen.
we also we cut down it used to be like 2.5, 3 hours. We've been getting it down to like 2 hours.
2
mostly.
hours. Like I've been watching the time. I've been doing a lot of time management. So
We did that too. Like when I did my podcast for years, yeah, we got it down to 2 hours. Sometimes we would go long. So when we did go long, we were like, "Whoa, we went too long this time."
right, that's what we've been doing. It's an active process. We got up to 4 hours one night. So
Yeah,
it was like, no, we can't do this. We can't do this anymore. We can't do 4 hours.
yeah,
That's 2 shows, bro.
yeah. It weighs on you.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you over there at Pizzo.
See
Have a
you
good
guys.
night. Peace.
Peace.
Let's just end this stream real quick right here.
Oh, he's playing Dragon Age.